legs versus 4 legs, I think is one of them.
There's 2-legged dragons?
Well, like their wings and their legs, or there's 4 legs with wings.
I love that intro.
I do.
And welcome back to the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh, you know, same old shit.
What are we doing first? Are we doing names? Are we doing Pine? Which one?
Pine.
Pine? Mm-hmm. This episode is brought to you by. Sponsored
Which camera
by.
do I look at?
Anyone you want.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. We have 3 of them. Pick one.
This episode is brought to you by Monarch Pine. She has all the findings and blanks that you need, so go check her out. She gave everybody a code Riley Black for 10% off of her Etsy, monarchpine.etsy.com. But she just recently...
Wait, there's more.
There is more. Just recently, she also added a patron-only code.
Oh. See, I was going to say, I was going to play off of, but wait, there's more. And I'm like, there's even more over on Patreon.
There is.
So,
and that includes a higher discount.
That's right.
Than 10% for Monarch Pine and many others.
Right. And for you freebies that are lingering around Patreon that get like a tease or whatever, we're brainstorming on what we can give you guys. Now, mind you, it's free.
Right.
So it's the free level, but we're gonna spice that up to see if we get more free.
We're gonna spice up all the levels.
All of the levels. All the levels are gonna get a little spice.
Little spice.
Yeah. Speaking of Patreon, we have
I got
names.
my list.
You got your list?
The names. Mm-hmm.
All right, Santa. Read off the list. It's almost
They
say after Halloween
good.
it's Christmas.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
Who cares about Thanksgiving?
So that's true. Thanksgiving can still be around Christmas
Thanksgiving
decorations.
is delicious. Oh no.
What?
Why does this happen? All right, read the list. I'm gonna fix it.
You read the list.
No, I'm not reading the list. You read the list.
You take care of the technical difficulties. Shh, quiet over there. Oh, Jesus.
I gotta hurry before this turns off and we don't have any cameras.
Oh, fuck. Okay. We have Michelle with Edwards Farm Decor, Toby with Cuddle XYZ, Keith, Melody Passman, Jen with Laser Last Design Co., Candy Kemp with Turtle to Goat Creations, Lori Green, Sheila with Scienspirations LLC, Natalie C, Hannah B, Kevin with Sledge Epoxy, Daniel with Alive Pixel Creates, Danny McManus, Stephanie with Pretty Pitty Design, Catherine with Primary Market, Bree with the Burn Shack, Aaron Vargo, Christy C, Jess with Jersey Girl Sign Shop, and Jillian Booth.
Whew, that was a lot.
That was.
And that was only half. Jinx. All right.
The other half will be next week when I catch my breath.
So, hopefully, there will be an extended version. Hopefully, we'll be able to finish. It's. I got the supercharger on there.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully we can finish this episode for regular folk, for our general admission, and we can give you extra. So let's just get into it.
Let's just go because we're on borrowed time.
I don't know how much time we have left here. I have 9% on the iPad.
Is it going up yet?
I don't know. It warned me at 10%. Now it's at 9%, and I plugged in the supercharger, so we'll see.
Okay.
Hopefully we're good. Fingers crossed. Anyway,
all right.
We have a very special guest.
We do.
One of our
OGs.
See, I didn't want to say one of our OGs because it kind of ages people and stuff like that. Last on in 2022.
That's crazy.
We didn't have any of this.
None.
We were sitting on our couch.
I had a heavy ass microphone that I had to hold. No, we
had
the boom.
We had arms.
Then. Yeah.
We had arms, but just we were breaking down and setting up for every episode. We were audio only.
Yep.
A lot has changed.
A lot.
And her setup. When she posted the picture of her set, like of all the gear that she bought. Oh, I told you. She's
so jelly.
She's got an A10 mini. Look at that light. Yes, yes, drooling and yes. Anyway, without further ado, we didn't even talk about what she's doing. So many things. I don't know which company. I'm just gonna introduce.
Tell her name and we'll have her do the.
Welcome to this show, Robin Parker Marsh. How's it going? Custom and better. File club.
No,
File
Custom Made Better.
Club.
That's not her. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Welcome
She just
Home
has the
Custom.
File Club.
Oh, just
Welcome Home Custom.
Welcome home. Custom. I had custom.
Okay, is that why you mixed the two?
That's
I was
why I
like,
mixed
what are
the
you
two.
talking about?
I had
Melody is
custom in
custom.
my head. That's right. CMB. Why did I say?
I have no idea.
Maybe.
Hey guys,
I don't
it's a
know.
Monday.
I'm sorry. It's Monday. We're recording on a Monday. It was daytime. The sun's out.
Right.
We're
It's
day
not night.
drinking.
We're not
Oh,
half
wait, we're
asleep.
I
not.
wish we
We're
were
not
day
half
drinking,
asleep.
but we're not.
My iPad. Ooh, we're at 11%. I think we're
Okay,
good,
we're
guys.
going up.
I think we're gonna give you all the show. All of the show. I had to rush out and get the supercharger, but it's
What's
at
the
12 now.
supercharger?
Huh?
What's a supercharger?
So I got this to charge the drone batteries because those are notorious for taking forever to charge.
Oh.
So this is like 100 watt or something. It's a supercharger.
Fancy.
That's insane.
And
That's
clearly-
actually really high.
Yeah, clearly it's like it went from 9%
To 12.
to 12 just now. So I think
Okay.
You
we're
guys
good.
are rocking and rolling.
We're gonna give you the full show today, guys.
We're trying.
As long as
Okay.
Robin doesn't leave because I gave her a different company.
You
Now
squirreled and
now she does acrylic.
right.
How did you
what?
transition from faucet to acrylic in 2 seconds?
Well, and she notoriously doesn't really do any acrylic. It's like
Well, she does now.
It's wood.
It's now. Sorry,
does
Melody.
not.
Sorry, I had custom on the mind.
You were so close.
And
You were
what
so
came out,
close.
and I wasn't
Not
even gonna say
really.
it. I was just gonna say your name, and then custom came to my head. I'm like, oh, custom ain't better. Bam. No.
Nope.
Not even close.
No.
Nope.
But she does awesome.
Welcome Home Custom.
Yeah.
Sometimes with the designs, sometimes not. Just depends on how I feel.
Right. That's me too. Because I'm not really Riley Black Designs anymore.
No.
More Riley Black, but like my Instagram handle is Riley Black Designs.
There should be like a like you have your company name for like a year, and then you get like your real company name.
Well, the problem is that the first company name is always basically, then you have a DBA, doing business as. Like
Right.
that, people just don't change them because it's so much work.
Right, but what I'm saying is they should make it easy to like after you have a year.
The government make it easy.
No, I'm just.
It's
Yeah,
it's a
I mean,
nice thought.
My receipts and everything, like all the financial stuff says designs.
Yeah.
But like all my social handles and everything,
Yeah.
I drop the designs. I'm like, no one has time to type all that in. Like,
Right.
what was I thinking? Like,
Well, and I had
welcome
to
home,
do
custom
designs.
design. It's too much.
I had to do designs because someone took Riley Black.
Really?
I know. I was offended too. That's why I had to buy my domain for
Yeah,
Riley
no,
Black
I remember.
for a lot of money.
Yeah.
That stinks.
It did, but I have it now.
Are you using
I
it?
find people
Not
will
yet.
tag my business on their Etsy listings.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh,
Just so that when someone types in welcome home custom,
that's smart, actually.
it is, but it's also mean. I don't like it.
Oh no, I see what you mean. In their like hidden tags.
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought you meant
other
like
other
like
file
product
sellers
sellers.
will tag.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
yes,
pretty,
I've heard.
pretty shady.
Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay, so that's like
So I've heard of that when you're doing your resume.
like
you put in,
hiding
like,
the tags in
keywords.
there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of similar, but it's in
Right.
a much more shady way, and they may not know that it's shady. They may be naive to the fact that it's shady. But basically, so like especially
I
if
mean,
you have a similar
If you're
style,
doing it, you're taking someone's clout.
basically.
You know, but what I'm saying
They're
is you're doing
utilizing-
that portion on
Well, what
purpose.
I'm saying is
Yeah.
with the resumes, you're not necessarily trying
No,
to
no.
do that. You're just
Right.
trying to beat
Get
the
it.
robot who's going to kick you
Right.
out for no
Right.
reason.
You're utilizing an SEO
Exactly.
versus
Yeah.
utilizing someone's brand they have built to
Right.
drive
Right.
sales.
No, what I'm saying is because you said they might be doing that not knowing. I'm like, but
I
they
mean,
know
so-
because they're when you
Oh,
do
they know
that,
what they're doing.
right?
Yeah.
When you do that, the initial
trying to give 'em the
motivation,
benefit of
no,
the doubt of
because the
being
initial
naive.
motivation is to get their clout. Like, oh, you're gonna look for
Right.
them, or you're gonna find me too while you're looking for them.
Well, and so I say the reason I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt is I'm pretty sure I need to actually go through some of mine and make sure I'm not still using Glowforge because I used Glowforge for a while because Glowforge owners are, at least were, typically like different laser owners. So they were like the first smaller like desktop laser. So if you go buy a laser file, the question I would always get is, does this work on a Glowforge? And so I would just put Glowforge SVG or Glowforge or whatever in my tag, so that like if they're, because the people would literally look for that. They would look for a Glowforge file. And so I was naive to the fact of how that would that's technically against like trademark and copyright and all that. And so that's where I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they may be naive to that. But when you're using like a competitor's tag, you know, shame.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about positive stuff.
Yeah,
So
right?
what the heck have you been up to besides this fancy new, you know, stuff, all the things?
Looking all 1080p over there.
I know. I'm like crazy over here, right?
I
know.
love it though.
I am like, what am I up to? So,
Do you know?
what day is it?
Right? I don't know.
Month are we
November something.
I know. I was like, did Halloween already happen? Like, I'm
It did.
Yeah. Welcome to the revolution in laser engraving. Introducing Lens Digital, the creators of the game-changing Pyburn rotary attachment. With the Pyburn 4.0, you can turn ordinary cups, tumblers, glasses, and more into extraordinary masterpieces.
Looking to engrave niche items or want the functionality of a Chuck rotary? Look no further than the Pyburn Grip, Lens Digital's Chuck-style rotary. With a range of different sized jaws, you can easily engrave a wide variety of items. All Lens Digital products are compatible with most CO2 and Galvo lasers and were designed specifically for the laser industry. All that, paired with the best-in-class customer support, Lens Digital is your one-stop shop for all of your rotary needs.
Transform your laser engraving game with Lens Digital, where makers succeed. Unleash your creativity today.
And don't forget, we are proud Lens Digital affiliates as well. If you're shopping, code RileyBlack will take $50 off any order of $600 or more.
Hey there, podcast listeners. How great would it feel if this was the year you finally got to escape your 9-to-5 to embrace your lifestyle of creativity and entrepreneurship?
Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, Eon Laser USA invites you to join the Freedom to Create webinar, where you'll learn how to make this a reality.
Join leading laser industry professional and brand ambassador Emily, aka That Mom with a Laser, and Eon Laser USA's sales manager Alicia as they dive into all things Eon.
Learn about the advantages of owning an Eon laser and get the scoop on Eon's rewards and partner benefits. Plus, get a glimpse at how everyday people who started out with zero experience paid off their lasers, scaled their businesses, and transformed their lifestyles.
So if you're ready for a lifestyle change, head over to eonlaser.us/whyus and sign up for the Freedom to Create webinar today.
Thanks for listening. Laser on.
No, so my main focus, which has been for quite a while now, is still the File Club.
Yeah.
So that's the WHC File Club.
Not CMB.
No.
Sorry, I don't want to confuse people.
No.
WHC, welcome home custom.
C File Club.
Sorry.
And we just did a soft enrollment just off the wait list. So that was keeping me kind of busy.
Yeah.
But that's really like where a majority of my focus is, I guess.
Yeah. How often do you open that up?
Usually only about every 6 months.
Okay.
I did
times a year.
Yeah, 2 times a year. I did do a soft open, like I said, just recently.
So what's a soft open compared to like a hard open?
I let people off the wait list only. I did not open it up for anyone else to join. So I capped the membership at 1,000 people.
Nice.
I say a lot.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's normal.
Everyone does.
We accept you as you around here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a safe space.
Yeah, no, so I cap it because I'm a strong believer in having unique designs out in the market, and I don't want the designs flooded.
Oversaturated.
Because, and we were talking about this earlier off camera, what's the point of having an exclusive club if you open it up for everyone to join?
Right.
Like I don't really get that.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes total sense. Yeah, because if everyone can get in, if it's like super affordable, and
you mean like $4 a month?
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of attacking ourselves right here.
Like Patreon, join Patreon for $4.
One works. That one is like okay if everyone's doing it.
Yeah, everyone needs to be doing
it. They're helping their business.
That's right.
They're growing, But here, like, yeah, having some exclusivity, especially in your product offering, is huge. So, like, and again, you have a unique style in what you produce anyway. So again, like, there's not only so much market, but it's a unique style, and so oversaturating it could be detrimental to that as well, Yeah,
well, and it just doesn't. I don't know. I just. Yeah.
She froze.
Yeah, those things.
No, I mean, I make a lot of different stuff, so I try to make something that anyone can make or sell.
Yeah.
But I hand draw everything. I don't use clip art, which I don't use AI.
Started. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think when you see a Welcome Home custom file, I think it's
yours. Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
what
then
I mean more by the unique style is that like when you see Robin's file, whether she made it or not, 9 times out of 10, you're like, oh, that's Robin's file that so-and-so made.
Yeah, it's funny too, because I'm really funny about it. Like, I don't even let my members share. I don't have control over it, but
right.
I ask them not to share any of the exclusive projects in any of the laser groups.
Yeah, that's hard too, because I'm sure they're excited about it. That like, especially the showstoppers, they really want to show somebody the showstopper. But I mean, I get why, because here's the other part too. If they aren't just putting it on their Etsy, or they aren't putting it out to their market and their people and their customers, if you post it in a group like that mom with the laser with 50,000 people, now it's all of a sudden like, is that really exclusive? Because now 50,000 people know, and they can't have that file. But we all know there's 14 waiting in the dark saying, I can make that for you.
Exactly. And I'm all about community over competition. Like, I help people whenever I can.
Right.
But I do still feel as though, as a business,
yes,
it's okay to leave some of your cards yourself. Like, you don't have to show your whole hand
exactly
all the time. And so I tell my members, I'm like, listen, hey, you share it in the club. I will show you so much love. I am excited and I want to see that you made it, but let's not share it outside of the group. So, and it's funny too, because like I have my public Facebook group.
Yeah.
And I've run Made It Monday every Monday, and I like have to go through and probably delete off 5 or 6 posts every week.
Well, that's hard too, because it's your group,
right?
So they have to pay attention to which group of Robins it is. Yeah.
I feel so bad too. I was like, I am so sorry. Like, I don't want to be this person, but I also feel like it's bettering them as business people too, just thinking with that mindset. Like, it's okay not to share everything. And I feel like sometimes that community over competition gets kind of confused. Right.
Yeah, it's hard to have the community over competition, but then also it feels like you're like a contradiction, but it's not in a way, because community over competition doesn't mean I have to tell you absolutely everything about like everything, like how much I make here, how much I make there. And even for me, sometimes it's hard because I'm so transparent and I'm so like real, and this is me in the wonderful and the hot messness. But then it's also like, okay, but there can still be and should be limits to what we share. Like, is that too much? And I mean, I have seen people have messaged me and asked me for like my suppliers of certain keychain thingies and stuff. And I'm like,
I'm my own supplier. Buy from me.
and they'll say like, oh, I promise I don't intend to sell them. You know, I just want to buy them in bulk. And I'm like, cool, good luck. Like, you know,
We can help you
get
with
to do all the R&D that I did. And I'm not going to send you something that makes me money. Is it necessarily hard to find? Maybe not.
But maybe it is.
But maybe it is. And like, I put a lot of work into, you know, I'd
Right.
order something and then you get it and it's great. And then you do a big bulk order and then you get them and then they're shit. They're nothing like the sample order that you did. You have to do that.
Yep.
I'm not giving you that.
I have a whole process I've created around showstoppers, and there have been folks that have full on replicated the entire layout of everything and then
Right.
started selling files. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did all the heavy lifting for you. You're welcome.
Right. Yeah. I'm so glad I put that in a box with a bow on it.
Yes. Yeah.
And you re-gifted it to someone else.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not so also too the community over competition.
Yeah.
It's like when you put it in these groups, you're putting it to everybody.
Yeah.
People who you don't even know. So it's not
Right.
to say that you won't share certain things with people you know.
Right. True.
You know, it's not to say that it like you're gatekeeping all something like a supplier,
Right.
maybe, because it is kind of like what we
Right.
do. So if you want, hey, listen, buy in bulk from us. We sell 1,000 packs for
Right.
you.
And hell, I'll send you 10,000 if you want.
Right. If you
but-
want, how many
yeah.
thousands you want, I got you.
Right.
But you know, so that's a little different.
Right.
But certain like thing, like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? Now we're not gonna broadcast this to everybody.
Right.
But I mean, you know, it's one. So it's I guess, what is it? Over community. What is it? I just blanked on it.
Community over competition.
Yeah, community over competition, but with like a little asterisk.
Yeah.
Like it's not the entire community. It's like
Right.
you know, like little.
Right. Like she
No,
probably.
For certain things.
Unfortunately, it's really a few bad eggs that
That's
ruin
what
it
I was
for
just going to
everyone.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Like
it was, I mean, so Catherine in Primary Market the other day, and I don't even remember what she ultimately decided, but you know, she's running her group, and every time your group gets bigger, you get to a certain point where you have to stop allowing stuff that you used to allow before because there's someone who comes in and ruins it for everyone, and it sucks because
big old poop.
big old shit right on your group that you've worked hard on.
People used to understand that McDonald's coffee was hot. You didn't have to spell it
Right,
out for everybody.
Exactly. It's true.
But then you get that one bad egg who sues
Yeah.
McDonald's for hot coffee.
Right.
My hot coffee was too hot.
Right. Hey makers, are you trying to grow your laser business but struggle with things like social media, building local business relationships, setting up your website, how to charge for your products, or when to add employees to your business?
Samita and Anuj Patel are passionate about helping other makers build their laser business and realize that each business owner is at a different stage in their journey. Like many of us, they started with a hobby laser at home but have since grown to a warehouse with 7 lasers, a UV printer, and generate 6 figures in sales and ship out over 5,000 orders a year.
Their one-on-one mentoring sessions are perfect for those who have questions and want answers. The hour-long session will be conducted over Zoom and will be recorded so that you have access to it after as well. No question is off the table, and they will give you actionable steps to take your business to the next level. Book your mentoring call at homeboundcustom.com to start growing your business today.
Attention all laser owners and crafters. Are you tired of spending hours cutting, painting, and assembling laser products? Look no further than Crazy Laser Dad Laser Ready Blanks.
Their high-quality blanks are expertly sourced, tested, and ready to use with your lasers. Say goodbye to the hassle and frustration of time-consuming projects and hello to more time creating and selling.
Plus, with their wide selection of items, you'll surely find the perfect blank for all your customers.
So, what are you waiting for? Visit crazylaserdad.com today and take your laser crafting to the next level with their laser-ready blanks.
Well, and so she, you know, there was like some drama with a file. Someone made a file. It was a really cute file. She wasn't selling the file. And that's where things always get messy because someone went around and I think made their own. And then I've never seen both of them. I don't know the comparison. I don't know how too close if they was too close, if it was exact, whatever. But then and I understand why, but they bring it to the group owner's attention because now there's drama. They should be aware. But then the hard part is we don't have time to be referees, to be the babysitters, as terrible as that sounds. We don't have time for that. So now we literally have to tell people, like, especially in that one with the laser where there's 50,000 people, if there's a dispute between files, you guys work it out.
Right.
Yep.
Like, if there's, like, overwhelming evidence that we don't have to do any, like, digging into, we may, on occasion, if we see that there's, like, you know, extreme behavior or something like that, we may remove somebody. If, like, you know, whatever. At the same time, there's two sides to every story. I don't have time to listen to yours and then go back to listen to hers and then deliberate between the five of us of who do we think is telling the truth, because some of these people are really good at not telling the truth. And so you don't know who did what. And, like, that's not for us.
Ooh,
that's for the courts, not for, you know.
Idea time. We should have a court show.
Yeah, that's why I started my subscription.
Bring the popcorn. What?
Yeah, that's why I started my subscription, because I got tired of it. And so I was like, you know what? This is going to benefit the folks that really enjoy my designs. And then it's also going to benefit me. Right. So that I'm not going to be copied.
A little bit more protected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was getting copied left and right my first year.
Oh, yeah, you had a big one recently too, didn't you? In that one group, there was one that happened laser. It was it was a super generic. Yeah,
I have them a lot.
Yeah,
and so and some pretty big names that actually. Anyways, and
I digress.
And so I'll just keep moving. And so I started my subscription for that reason.
Yeah.
Because I just got tired of constantly having to feel like I had to turn around and dispute something.
Right.
And like you said, it's not fair to you guys.
No.
And it's not fair to the people that are buying my file, and it's not fair. And so, and then I know there's some people that like publicly will go like crazy if their file was copied. Like, I don't do any of that anymore.
Right.
I just reach out to the person. I'll be like, listen.
Right.
Really? Like, just know that like I see you, and stay off my website.
Right. Like. And then I mean honestly, all you can
do because if you change it just enough,
yeah. Well, and even then, is some of that, if you change it just enough, is it like legally okay? Maybe. Is it always morally okay? Not necessarily. And again, we're inspired from every different direction, but like make sure that like, okay, that's a cool concept. Let me see how I can make that concept mine, or, you know, that kind of, like, everyone was asking you for dragons. You didn't go out and like, you know, copy the first dragon you found or whatever. So it's just, it's hard because like while
it took me a year to finally
they wore you down.
They wore me down.
They did. Every time you would ask what files they wanted, I would see them say dragons, and you're like, no.
I don't draw fantasy. Like, that is not my thing. Or like another thing too that people will ask for is like, will you draw this, like, I don't know, motorboat or Chevrolet truck? And I'm like, I don't draw automobiles. Like, it's not like
that is funny though. The people who buy our files, they love our style, but they don't realize that like there's also kind of limits to it. That like I can't draw everything.
No. I mean, like the dragon was a really big stretch.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't, and there's so many different types of dragons. Like, that's the other thing too. Like,
so what types of dragons are there?
I don't know their names. I can't pronounce them.
But
I
just
draw. I don't read.
Right.
Yeah, there are.
Right. This is also true.
No, I mean, I can't pronounce any of the names, but like whenever I do like a file set that I'm not familiar with, like I go like crazy
Right.
researching everything because I'm like, I don't want to like, what if
Inaccurately.
I offend the dragon people, you know?
Oh, you don't want to do that.
No, like what if that dragon has too many like splines on the wing or like, you know what I mean?
Then
Yeah,
they
you
call
never
you
know.
out.
Right.
There's no way that dragon would ever have that.
Oh, there
Right.
was like the two legs versus 4 legs, I think is one of them.
There's two-legged dragons?
Well, like their wings and their legs, or there's 4 legs with wings.
Ah, see?
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Like if the wings are the legs, or
What
they're
did you
just
ultimately
wings.
go with?
4 legs and 2 wings.
Yeah, I say that was a good choice. Seems like it was the first thing that comes to mind.
I can go
for
for
me.
a 6-piece right now. 4 legs, 6. Yeah.
Chicken wings.
Yeah.
That sound good.
Original recipe.
You know what? My stomach's growling.
Yeah, right. But in between the
Okay,
live that we just did,
question. Regular, original, or extra crispy?
Extra crispy.
Oh,
Extra crispy.
me too.
listen, I'm not typically a crispy person. Like with my pizza, I hate crispy pizza.
No, give me all the crunch on everything.
No,
I
but
like
for
thin
wings,
crust.
I could.
You don't like thin crust, so you like a pan or original crust.
Yes.
This
Or
is
the, what
eat
is it,
the-
hand tossed?
She doesn't eat the crust. The crust.
The crust.
The crust.
I don't eat the crust.
No.
Sometimes I do, but most times I don't. And yeah. Wait, is this controversial?
Do you scrape everything off?
No, so I just
the
not
crust.
the edge,
The edge.
the
Yeah,
top
yeah,
edge.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and my son doesn't either.
No, he learned it from watching you.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
where
and
they learn most of it.
Ranch or blue cheese with the wings, with the dragon wings.
Oh, ranch.
Yeah.
It's my preference.
So sad.
You're a blue cheeser? Oh, I forgot
How
that.
do you not know I'm a blue? How do you not
I
know?
get offended every
I
time
can go
you
either
order.
way, but I prefer ranch.
I used to like blue cheese when I was young.
Brussels sprouts, blue cheese all day long.
I don't know. I don't eat Brussels sprouts.
Oddly
Ooh,
enough, did you see I ordered some?
You just bought some.
Maple balsamic glaze with a little bit of blue cheese.
That
Send me the
sounds good.
recipe.
It's pretty delicious.
So I actually we do groceries on Mondays.
Yeah.
And we did groceries this morning, and I got some Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I saw them.
to try because I was like, why
Oh,
not?
I was like,
I'll send you the recipe.
I was like, Brussels sprouts, huh? And just threw them back in the freezer.
Yeah, they
They're
were just
easy.
like the steamables, but I do want to try the the baked ones or whatever
Roasted.
because Brie has one. Yeah, roasted. Yeah.
Roast them at like 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. But that's the fresh ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
This isn't
No,
very
these-
laser related. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, you should try to laser a Brussels sprout.
Add that to your list.
Just-
Put WHC on it.
just put it in the 9 at 400 degrees for 25 minutes.
400 speed, 25
Right?
power.
You can cook it. Write something on there like "This is BS" or something.
Right. So I guess we could get back to laser stuff. Anything
We
flies
probably
here.
should.
That's literally why our tagline though, when he asked if we should start a podcast, I was like, okay, but I don't want to be told I can only talk about lasers. Like I want to talk a little bit about life and all the ish in between. So that's why we made it a podcast about lasers, life, and all the ish in between. Because for one, ADHD, so that's another thing we were going to talk about, is like if you tell me I can't talk about something,
That's
I'm going to divert and then struggle to go back. So when you have the freedom to do so, then there's no limits. So how have you leaned in or worked around your ADHD-ness?
It's hard. But I think for me, finding file sales in general is or has really helped my ADHD turn into a superpower.
Yeah.
Because I can go down all of these like random ass
Any rabbit hole.
holes and make wacky ass shit, and people love it.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know how you thought about this. I'm like, well, how did you not think about this? Like, come on, you know?
What do you mean? You're not thinking about this every night?
I don't know. And my brain doesn't turn off, you know?
Same.
So I just, you know, I like the rabbit holes. Like this last release I did was massive, and it to the File Club, and it was just because I'm like weird about it. I'm like, if I'm going to make a collection of things, I should just make all the things. Like there's no reason for me to just cut it off and then try to piecemeal and make more money off stuff.
Right.
I'm like, dude, like here it is. Like
right.
You get it all.
Yeah.
You know? Thank you for
well, you can piecemeal it
here.
when right. Well, you can piecemeal it when you release it to everybody.
Yes.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, exactly. So like there's a huge benefit for being a member. They get to kind of like deal with my crazy my crazy, you know, brain.
Yeah.
And you know, a few of them were like, well, we'd love to just, you know, live in your brain for a day. And I'm like, no, you would not.
It's not pretty in here.
It's very, very messy.
He gets glimpses of my brain.
It's a scary place.
Here and there. And I'll see his face because I'll literally stop like mid-sentence talking about one thing and then switch to something so left field. Neither of them have anything to do with each other. And I'll see his face and he's like, literally does like a
glitch. It's like I can't follow. How did we get there?
I can't help. I'm like, you just gotta run with it. And thankfully, thank God for Instagram Reels, because anytime I scroll past one that like explains ADHD on a level that I cannot, I send it to him and I'm like, this.
I do the same. To my husband, I send him clips. I'm like, here.
Me. Yeah, this is me. Does it make a little bit more sense? And it may not, but I feel like they just, I don't know. Do they help you at all?
No. See, being with you, I've developed a little bit of myself because stopping certain like you'll ask me to do something. You'll be asking me to do something, and I will proceed to do that. And in the middle of that, you ask me to do something else. So then I'm like, do I need to finish? Can I finish? No, do it. Can you do it now? I'm like, okay. So I stop this task and I move over to this one, and then there's a third one, and there's a third one. So you do that enough, you start doing it yourself just without the direction.
Yep.
So I've developed a little bit just because I'm accustomed to now apparently working that way, where I start here, I go here, then I go over there and forget about what we started on. That's gone. That's gone. And we'll come back over here.
Well, and
but this first one's done.
Sometimes.
And then the best part is, hey, did you ever oh, that's right. I was doing that, wasn't I? Until you told me to do something else.
Yeah,
because then I expect him, because he's not ADHD, I expect him to be able to easily go back to that thing that I interrupted him from. Yep. But it doesn't work like that. And then I think that like
that was 4 steps ago. I forgot
and then
that
I
step.
think
I thought I finished that.
Like, I'm good with communication, and that like he knows which one's more important and which one I want him to work on first. Nope. And so then
that's because you had the conversation in your brain.
Exactly.
You forgot to say it.
Right. Well, and then sometimes I don't say it because I feel like when I say too much, I feel like I'm telling him what to do or like demanding things. And I don't want to demand things, but in not explaining how I would like them or in what order, then he's free to choose his order. And
I love that part.
90% of the time, it's not the order I had in my head that he should know.
Right. Should know. I should know.
You guys have the exact same problem we do.
I'm so glad that there's other people like us.
Yep. We have the exact same problem.
And does this happen to you too? Where you'll think about something will distract you, and it'll take you sometimes like days or weeks to remember that you forgot it?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Or I will do something so silly as like go on to, I don't know, Shopify
Yeah.
to double check subscription.
Oh,
And
yes.
then I get completely
You don't do the thing.
sidetracked. And I'll do like 7 or 8 other things. And then I'm like, wait a minute, why am I here?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, that makes, now I understand why I didn't get anything done. Like, because I'm
Right.
constantly like, you know, running around doing all these different things. And so little things are getting done, but it's like
They're
that,
not what you really
that
needed.
big picture isn't getting completed. Yeah. It's
Well,
hard.
so I've tried to lately make more lists, and my lists are a chaotic, just mess. And what ends up happening is while working through that list, my list actually gets longer because then I start thinking about more things I need to do or want to do, but I am trying to focus on the original one. And so like just trying to work on this one right here, I add 6 more because I tell myself, no, we're not doing that right now.
She doesn't make lists. She makes trees.
Trees?
Yeah, because there's a lot of branches on that list. Because that list turns into other lists, to sub lists, and those sub lists have several sections,
many lists.
and those sections have paragraphs.
I
Have you written law before? Because that's what it feels like.
And you know what's funny? I can't follow law stuff because it confuses me.
But
I
you
have
follow
so
your
many-
lists.
I
No,
have so many not used calendars.
calendars are the worst.
Planners, like I should just start making lists and not using a planner and trying to like fit myself in a box.
That we're not. It's not that we're not that box.
I don't work that way.
Is there like an? There has to be because there's like there's a thing for everything. There has to be like an ADHD calendar.
So there is, but I still wouldn't use it.
It's true.
I mean, I bought planners for all the wrong reasons. Oh, that's pretty. Maybe I'll use it. Oh, that one says cuss words. Maybe if something yells at me, I'll use it.
Yep.
You know?
Right. Yep.
Oh, that's organized in a way that you can see the day, month, and year all in the same page. Like maybe I'll use it.
Okay, but then it expires.
Nope.
If that's the case, that's the
Yeah,
worst
it's
part about
awful.
calendars.
I know, and I'll spend decent money on these planners, and
Yeah.
it lasts for like a day. It lasts for like a month,
Yeah. No, sometimes.
and then
it's a
I'm like,
day
oh,
for me.
I'm worn out.
Yeah. Well, and I have lists that are handwritten, and then I have lists in my phone. And then
do
I have
too.
several types of lists. Like I have lists that are like just Crystal. And then I have lists that are like both of us for like, stuff that we need to do for the business together. And then there's like home stuff. Because then this is also what happens. We'll have a free, quote, free moment,
Man,
right?
How many steps do I have already in this mind of yours?
And so we'll have a free moment. And I'm like,
exhausted.
I know that there's a million things I can be working on.
Mm-hmm.
But then my brain in that moment won't think of any of them. Like, say we have a free weekend.
Right.
What should we work on, like, around the house? We won't know. But there's a million things that we
There's
could
a lot of
work
things
on.
that we could work on. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's like, which one? And then you'll go work on something else, and then the weekend, it'll be Sunday night at the weekend's now over. And I'm like, fuck, we should have worked on the thing.
Yeah.
So
My favorite part is where it's like, oh, we should. I'm gonna go do this. I'm like, okay, cool. You go do that. I'm gonna go do. I don't know where to start.
I never know where to start.
I don't
Well, it
know
is
where to
hard.
start. And then
It is
and then
hard to
and then
unpack it sometimes.
Right. So I try to help because I don't understand. So I try to help, and I'm like, well, start here. Well, no, because see, if I start there, then I gotta do this. Okay, well then do that first. Well, no, because then I have to do that over there before I can start. So So start there on that so that you can do this and then do that. Well, no, see, because that has to wait till 2 weeks from now because I'm getting this in to start on that.
Yeah, so I feel that. So
So then instead I do nothing.
So I walk away
And I walk away.
and nothing gets done.
Like I'm way into hardwoods now. Like I'm like in shaping, and I feel like I'm going
hardwood.
hardwood. I feel like I'm moving backwards. Like people are getting more and more into mass production, and I'm like, how can I get more into woodworking? Like
Right.
I'm going backwards.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I want to start selling at a fine art show. And I have this idea of what I want to do, but it's going to require like multiple thicknesses and of woods and that sort of thing. And so then I start like researching woods, and I'm like, oh, these are really cool woods, but what if I wanted more like, flexibility? And then like, should I get a drum sander? Like, do I need that? And so now I've got this like really high end bandsaw that I just got because I guess you can resaw boards. I've never used a bandsaw. I actually haven't even started selling in fine art again, but I have a bandsaw.
But you have something.
I went down a complete, because I had to check off all these boxes before I could start.
Well, same with us thinking about doing like a keychain bar at local shows just to make some extra money.
I never had that thought when she says we.
You agreed that it might be a good idea.
Because it's going to happen. So why fight this battle? You got to pick and choose your battles.
No, you could say no. No is allowed. I may not like it, especially if I'm in the spiral moment, but you're allowed to tell me no.
Okay. We'll see.
Just don't do it in the moment.
Just save it until I'm not currently spiraling.
Right. You gotta let them spiral, get it all out.
Yeah.
Let it sit for a day and then revisit.
Because I've put all of the things because then if we do a show, then now we need like displays and stuff, and now we need to plan layout, and now we need to plan the shows, and when are the shows, and how do we do the shows, and like
it has to be indoors.
And well, then like outside. Too, because I only want to try I probably will hate it after one or two again. The same reason that I only did 3 shows before this, but I want to try it. And
you know what though? I think to an extent though, I think that is good that you overthink all those things because especially for doing shows, and I think this is one thing that at least what I see in the laser community greatly overlooks is presentation is so important.
Oh, so I'm not going if I don't have a display that I think at least think looks good and flows and will be presentable, because that will be the difference between selling $5 and selling $2,000.
That's also the difference between someone actually coming in your booth.
Right. To walk in there at all.
Walk on by. That's the other thing too, is that, the folks that are, and I don't, everyone has to start somewhere, but folks that are trying everything, they have everything in their booth.
Yeah.
It becomes a question of how is the customer going to even remember who you are?
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, and how are you going to have that's where I get these kinds of things from if you legit give them everything? And that's why I kind of liked the keychain bar idea, because it plays on one business I already have with the keychain thingies. And ideally, if it goes terribly, now all I'm out is, the props and stuff that I purchased to put on the table. But if it doesn't go well, then I just take that stuff home and put it back into inventory for keychainthingies.com. But if it does go well, I then have that much more of a tool to tell my keychain customers or potential customers, hey, I did a keychain bar at this and this event. They did this and it went amazing. Here are the things that I offered. And you know what I mean? So, and because just our money this year has been so ebb and flow that it's okay, we're thinking of things that I know or potentially think will be temporary, because they don't align with our long-term goal, right? But they align with, I don't want either of us to have to go back to a normal job. So right now, maybe we do shows. We learn about shows. We learn what sells. We now have more content for our followers, our people. We can tell people what we learned. But yeah, it's hard because you don't want to do all the things, and you want to make sure that when you are spiraling or going outside of that for like a potentially temporary thing, that it doesn't take you away from the other stuff that is your long-term goal. So how do you do the two? And then here's the other part too, is a lot of the businesses, hell, all of them actually, we're all byproducts of I did the thing and it led to something else.
Right.
So I created physical products that led to people asking me where they could get the file. That led to me selling them. Right. Then I was making keychains. It really sucked to make 75 of them and do the jump rings, and my hands hurt. So then I found out about keychain thingies, and then I saw other people wanted them, so I started selling them.
Yeah.
Like, and with the course, Heather and Emily were making one, and they were like, you should make one on Silhouette too. And I'm like, you're crazy. And then I'm like, oh, actually, okay, great. And then now I teach people how to, the podcast. He was like, is anyone doing one? He was interested in podcasts. So none of these were like planned. And here's the other thing too. If the keychain thingies does great and we get to spend a weekend and maybe we make a couple grand and we get content for our followers, maybe it would become a thing.
Yeah, see, that's kind of why I want to do fine art shows again, because I haven't done it with any woodworking. I had done fine art shows with pen and ink and with copper work, but I have not done it with wood. And so I kind of wanted to build out a model of like, if you want to try to apply for the higher end fine art shows, which I know is not necessarily on the radar for many laser people.
Right.
Laser people do seem to gravitate towards more of the, product craft show side of the world and not the fine art show side of the world.
But that's a huge untouched. So MJ, MJ, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So MJ, she's been leaning into that as well, with her art gallery and that kind of stuff. She's seen how you can take a laser product, turn around and sell it for, what some of us would maybe feel a ridiculous amount because it's in that fine art category. It's art to someone, and that value.
Fine art has a totally different value applied to it for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I changed my name of my free group. I changed it from, I don't remember what, to Laser Art and Design, because that's really where I prefer to focus. I've never enjoyed the turn and burn production type products. So like one of my members made the dragon and she did some of rounding of the edges and she sold it for $1,000.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's not... I mean, if anything, if I'll be honest, like that's actually what I think should be on the low end of some of those products, to be honest.
For how much work goes into them,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of money to be made out there if you're focusing on the right target market.
Right. Well, and let me tell you about those $1,000 customers. Okay. So it's and I'm sure we've all seen the reels, we've all seen the comparisons, we've all seen the memes. You sell something to $1,000 customer and they're going to be like, thank you so much. This is amazing. And then they're going to go on their way. Right. They're not going to have any critique. They're not going to say, oh, this part isn't like rounded perfectly, or there's a little bit of a gap, or any of the like human error parts, right? Or the like a human made this, not a machine, which hell, the machines do worse than the humans sometimes, because I've seen the shit that's at Hobby Lobby and all that stuff sometimes that I think is a machine.
Yeah.
But then you compare that to your $50 to $100 customer, they get it and they don't like how the grain is on that part of the frame, or, oh, this doesn't look exactly like the picture you posted. And it's like, well, yeah, because that was made with a different piece of walnut. It's still walnut, but it's just a different section of it. And, little things like that, like those aiming towards those higher caliber customers. Yes, it can be sometimes a little bit harder to find your people or to get that sale, but when you get them,
and you can get multiple sales. Like I was doing a show when I was living in Florida at the Boca show. Is there a Boca Art Museum show?
Yes, but there's a Boca Art. Yeah,
I did an art show down there, and I did very well at that show. But one customer walks into my booth and she said, "Do you have time after the show? I would like you to bring that, and that to my house so I can see it."
Oh my God.
She bought all of them.
Wow.
Nice.
One customer,
awesome.
I made
Right.
5 figures. One customer, like that.
That just gave me chills. And that's what I mean. Like the other thing, like, okay, so especially selling keychains, if I do just keychains, I have to be really good with these add-ons and that kind of stuff, because I could potentially be working my ass off and at $10 a customer, work my ass off and have $1,000 by the end of the day. With fine art stuff, you sell 1 or 2 pieces and you got to hang out and just talk to people and just find your person. Your person's going to come to you too, especially with fine art. They're going to see your style from like that other aisle and be like, "What's that?" I'm going to go look at it. And they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, like I'll pay that, in a second." So there's definitely the benefits, to the two.
I would rather do that all day long than do a mass production.
Same.
Yeah.
I realized very early on that I was not a production person, because I would see people, they would they would celebrate, and I was going to say brag, but it's not necessarily bragging. They would celebrate like a big order, right? And it'd be this order of like 500 ornaments or whatever, and they're all exactly the same. And I'm like, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
I would
want to gouge my eyes out.
Exactly. And my lofty goal that I don't know that I'd ever really necessarily lean into, because then it would stress me out. But I really for my fun projects that I don't nearly charge what I should for them, is my baby milestone sets with 12 different colors of acrylic, and I go all out, and they use them for their pictures for their babies. If they're lucky, they make it through the first year.
Were adorable.
Thank you. I haven't even posted those. I need to post them. I'm scared people will ask. You
had them somewhere.
I posted them in your group, and that's pretty much the only place.
It's freaking adorable.
Thank you. I got a lot of really good feedback from them on that group, but then my ADHD brain, I don't love when I was putting them together. I didn't love. So the file, it looks great when they're done. Making them was a pain in the balls. And as a file seller, I don't want to sell them.
What was hard about
it? So there was the different sizes of the weight plates, right?
Yes.
But then that threw off the sizing of the words and the numbers. And then because it was also a gift, right? So you have the back piece, the plain circle.
Yes.
And then you had the front part that made it so that it gave you the 3-dimensional shape, right?
Yes.
Well, this is a gift. If I made them all so that there was 12 plates, that was going to be a shit ton of material. So this is what I'm also thinking about for my file people. The price that they're going to have to charge for this with 12 pieces front and back and all these numbers, and then the different sizes. Oh, and then I realized, so
You should come hang out in my file club. People love to use lots of pieces.
But like, so I don't like a lot of pieces. I want to make it like easy. And again, too, if someone's turning these around and they want to be able to make a good profit on them, they either have to find those higher end customers or, they're underselling themselves. And I don't want to create something that makes it, you know what I mean? Yeah. But so little things like that, I made it. I was really proud of it, but then I didn't actually put out the file because, it wasn't where I personally wanted it. Not that it would work it wouldn't work for someone else. But I would love to make baby milestone sets because I make them once and then I'm over it. I don't want to make it again.
No, I get you. Yeah.
All the planning that goes into my head because I think about them, I think about the idea, and then I have to reverse engineer how I'm going to make it into, the file and what it's going to look like and making it look accurate, like, the weight plates and then.
How do you make it as easy as possible for someone to replicate?
Exactly, because then I'm also extra. I go over the top. And so, and I can't rein that in all the time. Sometimes I can.
When?
Yeah.
So my showstopper this month, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but it was 250-ish pieces.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Well, and so like
I'm actually thinking about, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm thinking about starting more of even a bigger step up, like elite showstopper group.
Yeah.
Where we make one showstopper a month, but it's like on steroids. Like we're gonna do crazy, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And there's people that are in the club that are like, yes, bring it on. Like that.
I love it.
I'm all about it.
Yeah. Cause so even with the fishing lures, me reining it in is each fishing lure had 2 colors. Okay.
Right.
And then now to help reduce material, I did I do month 1, 3, 7, and 9 or something, right? Those 4 are those same 2 colors.
Right.
And then 2, 4, 8, whatever, right? Are the next 2, those 2 paired colors together. If I had the patience and I didn't care about other people's material and having to use so much, each month would be 100% different.
Right.
So that would be 24 colors just for the fishing lure part. So that's where I have to rein it in, even though it doesn't look like I'm reining it in.
So what you could do for that though, and this is what I do with my group, is I will actually say, hey, this is how I did it. Mm-hmm. But if you wanted to get all crazy fancy, this is what you could do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would never completely cut yourself off.
No.
Putting something out there because of a fear that someone won't want to make it.
Yeah, I'm really good.
Because if I had done that, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because I make some big crazy files.
It's really, it is true because the sushi one that I put out, I warned them hey, this is time consuming. If you want to make this one, just know you're not gonna make it on a quick Friday 1 hour time slot.
Yeah, I tell my group no pain, no gain.
Yeah, right. And then you I think as long as you're transparent, it's okay. But again, where I was going to say 4 times and kept getting distracted, was that I would love to make one set for celebrities or rich people who want some super custom milestone set for, baby Chanel or whatever, who's not a baby anymore. Isn't that their Chanel is their daughter, right?
Yeah, it is.
So
I was wondering who baby Chanel was.
But
then,
but in order to do that, what?
Yeah. I said the pressure, then I would die from the pressure. So I say I would love to do that because they're the people who can afford to pay me $500 to $1,000 for some crazy custom milestone set. But then I have the pressure of, they just paid me $500 to $1,000 to make this. And then, then I spiral with my perfectionism. Then we got to go
deliver it so we can get that content.
Right.
I mean, I sold someone it was a copper seahorse. Mm-hmm. when I was doing my copper work, they spent like $2,000 on this piece of artwork.
Yeah.
And so we go to their house because you're spending that much. A lot of times they are assuming you're going to hang it for them.
Yes.
We hung it in their freaking bathroom. $2,000 piece of artwork in a bathroom.
Must be fucking nice.
I mean, think about how much time you spend in the bathroom.
This is true. It's true.
I mean, it was beautiful.
And I love our bathroom.
You start your day in the bathroom.
Right. You spend a lot of time
your day
in
the
there.
bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I get it.
It's true. Yeah.
Kitchen and bathrooms. Sell houses.
It was insane.
And if you got it like that, why the fuck not? You might as well make your bathroom really cool. You know?
I mean, why not market to that group? I mean, I don't know. Like I think that's kind of where there's a big disconnect is that people a lot of times think like, well, I wouldn't pay that much or I wouldn't buy that. Well, but it's not for you. Right. It's not for you.
Right.
And then figuring out like, you know, writing your customer story and figuring out where that target market wants to shop and where they're located. Like for me, I think like a pipe dream of mine would be that someone like an anthropology store or something like that would see some of my fine art and say, hey, we want to do a limited run. Like that would be a big pipe dream for me.
Right.
But I need to get back to making my fine art again.
Right.
That's my problem though. Like I'm on this, and we talked about this before, like we're on these hamster wheels and we're moving so fast. It's like, when do you stop to like pursue the other dreams?
Right, because then it's not the only dream that we have. Like the keychain thingies that I've kind of like reined back a little bit. Like if I find things, because those, it was really easy for me to spiral and be like, ooh, here's all these fun, cool, cute keychains, and just kind of like get them all without actually really like planning like, okay, how do I market this? How can people really use this? Is this beneficial? And so I've reined that in a little bit more. And we finally made like the decision, okay, you know, the podcast is what we really want to be the most of. That doesn't mean I can ever get rid of any of these other things because they're still my babies, but they'll just not be, the focus won't be on them.
Right.
Like when I make a new file, at least right now, couldn't see me ever really having like a file subscription because that tends to like dry up my creativity. If I'm like forced to make something, then my brain's like, oh, we don't have anything.
It's hard.
There's nothing to make.
There are months where I'm like,
shit.
You know, like what can I'm going to try to squeeze out a diamond. Excuse me for a moment.
So, you know, it's just one, choosing what I really want to be. But then with the milestones and stuff, anytime I know someone who's pregnant, I'm like, what do you want? What's your favorite thing? What's your craziest, like, you know,
that's your love language then. Like that's your,
because most of them have been gifts, and even the ones who have paid for them, it's been a gift in what I charge them because it's nowhere near like the amount of time I actually spent into it. Like the sushi one and the crawfish one, I hand drew all those little fucking kernels and tested them so that the kernels weren't too damn small, and like the crawfish, his little legs would break because I made them too thin, and like you know, that didn't. Like I didn't charge nearly enough for that, but I loved it, and it was fun, and I was so proud of it in the end. And I love, like, those are the projects that I'm like, ooh, look, I made that. Isn't that's cool?
Yeah.
So sprinkling those in, and then maybe making like 1 cent. It's 1 set. 1 cent. 1 cent per hour sometimes. But. And then maybe listing it on Etsy for some crazy price. And if someone buys it, great. If not, I'll just keep it here to show off every once in a while. You know what I mean? But not put the pressure on trying to find like that market. Because again, ultimately what doesn't give me the worry and the pressure and the perfectionism is the podcast.
Yeah.
No,
speaking
fair.
Of gifts, we've been gifting.
How much time have we gifted them?
I don't know. We've gifted them some time.
Shit. Okay.
But it's okay.
So, no,
it's okay.
Okay.
I'm not trying to like cut it down.
Right. I mean, we need to start cutting them off.
Oh, see, she wants to cut you off. I don't.
Just kidding.
I just let it go until we find a good spot, and I figure that's a good spot.
Okay, that is a good spot. So
where
Hold on, codes. Codes first.
That's right.
Yes.
We gotta give them money.
So Robin is giving general admission, as John calls it, 20% off her files. Where at?
Oh, welcomehomecustom.com.
And then the code is TRBP20. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, there's always a second code that's bigger.
That's right.
That is for just our patrons.
That's right. And as low as $4.
Yes.
For now.
Mm-hmm. For now. We might change it.
We might.
We'll see.
Maybe not. Maybe we'll keep you there.
Yeah. We don't
see.
know.
We'll see what happens.
We're flying by the seat of our pants trying to figure out how we want to do it.
We're juggling and we're seeing what we do.
I fly by the seat of my pants daily. So
yeah, exactly. By the seat of your overalls.
So we're going to keep 4 pairs?
That's awesome.
You know what's great? Well, here's the thing. Like if I'm filming B-roll or whatever, I can bend over and not worried about showing the crack.
True.
I mean, listen, but a little bit of crack might get you some more,
more views.
You haven't seen my crack. It's okay. No, you don't want to show that off.
So we'll continue that conversation over.
But where can people find you? What's your
talk more about crack.
We'll talk more about
behind
Robin's
the paywall.
Crack on the Patreon extended version. But where can people find you besides your website?
I'm everywhere. All the things. Just look up Welcome Home Custom. I have a YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram,
all the things,
Facebook. Although I will say Instagram, I'm not very good at it.
It's okay. I'm not very good at TikTok.
Yeah.
I like TikTok, but I don't, I like TikTok because I feel like that group of people enjoy a silly.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Silly, and so I enjoy
the dance you did with Emily, or the interpretive dance you've copied of Emily's.
I actually minored in dance in college,
and makes much more sense.
I was
like, she did pretty good,
right?
Yeah, I was a choreographer. Well, it's funny because Emily did it first,
right?
And then I was like, okay, let me watch it a few times. And then I just mimicked what she did.
Yeah.
But I was a choreographer and danced on the Purdue Dance Company. And
fun fact.
I haven't done it in years. Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. This is the end of the line for general admission.
Yep.
The conversation continues over on Patreon. But up next for you guys, the Riley nope. The life update. It's coming up next. And welcome to the life update. Super rushed life update. Sorry, guys.
The kids are on their way.
So the kids are on their way home.
Recording.
Yes, daytime recording. It ran really long.
Because we couldn't stop talking to our friend about all the
things. So if you're not a patron member, you definitely want to sign up for this one.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
Well, and we're going to be shifting it soon.
Yes.
So there's going to be some changes, I think, to the tiers and the levels. And
look out for all those changes at the beginning of the year, probably, is what we're thinking.
That's our goal.
We're kind of tossing around, all to bring more quality and more content.
Just more value. Yeah.
To you guys who have been with us and for everyone who's will be signing up soon. So we have that going on. You're yawning.
I try really hard not to.
Yeah. I don't know what we got. We just been
honestly, we're focusing on growing the podcast, focusing on getting through the end of the year. We tentatively are going to have our first little mini tour. What?
Yeah. No, it kind of looked like it was jumping. So hopefully the recording.
Hopefully this works. If not, we'll do it tonight.
Yeah,
we'll do a redo. Yeah. But we'll hopefully have our first mini tour. We're actually going to stop in Sacramento and hang out with our homie Will and do a meetup and a podcast there, and then head straight from Sacramento to Vegas for APA at the beginning of February.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun.
So it'll kind of be like our first little trial run. Also, if you're in Denver,
that's what I was about to say. Our real kind of early travel is going to be in December.
Yeah, so we're going anyway to see family and my dad, and I'm bringing you along with me this time, hopefully. And then while we're there, we're like, hey, why not do a podcast? Because one of our Colorado people were like, oh, are you going to do a podcast? And I was like,
for sure.
Oh, I hadn't even really considered it. And I'm like, yeah.
It's a great, it's going to be, if nothing else, it's going to be a great chance to test out the new gear, make sure everything
and
is
in my hometown.
running
I mean,
and-
that's kind of like my home state.
Yeah.
Like that's the
it'll
coolest
be our,
part of
it'll
it,
be our
honestly.
second podcast there.
Yeah. Yeah, because the
Yeah.
other one we did at our friend
Yeah.
Kathy's house. That's going to be a good short. But yeah, I think that's really just it. Just trying to grind and I'm trying to be more intentional with my time and make sure I'm spending it on things that I need to be spending it on.
And what we like to spend it on.
And yeah, exactly. What I like to spend it on.
Right.
So, just look out for changes. And I did ask in the groups and I didn't get a ton of feedback, but if there is anything that you want to see as a patron or something you'd love to see and you'd sign up right away, or if you're already a patron, something that would help you step up to the next level of the Patreon tiers, what would that be? We want to know those things because we don't want to pack a whole bunch of value into it and you're like, cool, I don't care about that. Right. We want it to be things that you actually want. Right. We want this to be beneficial to you and your business. Yes, we appreciate your support, but we don't want that to be the only thing that you're getting out of Patreon. Right. We want you to actually get like awesome things besides the content. Hot mess, very fun hot mess after dark. So I think that's pretty much it. Just thank you for being here.
Thank you. Yes. And if you're not a Patreon member yet, now's the time. $4.
Do it.
Yes.
Because again, we might be changing the levels.
We're re-tiering. Yeah.
So if you get in now, you'd be grandfathered in.
Yeah.
So just
so if
putting
you're
that
on the
out
fence,
there.
jump that fence.
Yeah.
Before that fence gets a little taller.
Wish it was a little bit taller. Okay.
Hey,
sorry.
copyright infringement.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, that'll do it for the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Bye.
Mamie, we're all done.